Hi guys, how you doing? Yeah, so in the last video, I'm Emmanuel here, Sales Ledger Tech Support. In the last video, of course, we're looking at how, to input inventory items. Of course, we created our business, we logged in, created our business, added them to categories, we added inventory, and of course we added each inventory item to category. So I showed you how to add images to your items, to edit your items, update them and all that. So I think by now you should be very well equipped with how to add products and also to add customers. So I also showed you how to add customers. So if you have not watched the last video, you can as well do that, because we showed there I showed you how to add all the products, which is very necessary for you to proceed with using Sales Ledger. Like I said, you are not forced to add products before adding sales, or to add customers before adding sales. You can do that while adding the sale, but it's always good to get your shop ready. So it's always good to do one thing at a time. It helps you to better organize your shop, to enter your stock, to enter the prices without making mistakes. But of course, you can enter your items at the fly or in a fly. If you have so many products which you cannot register at once, then you can be registering the products as new sales are coming in, of course. Or you can, if you have someone helping you to sell, they can as well do the job of entering the products. Then you just monitor that. So of course, we have products here, which of course is very interesting. We added the name of our shop, of course, is my hair shop. So we are selling hair items, things related to hair. Yeah, so like I said, you can create any kind of shop. You can be selling cars, you can be into rentals, whatever can have a price tag. You can actually do even food. If you have a restaurant or you have a coffee shop, whatever you're selling, as well, as long as you can record the items and you can have a name for it and a price for it, and probably a buying price, that's the original price without the profit you're making. Of course, you can, the price minus the profit, the selling price minus the profit, you can have, that's what we call the buying price, yeah, or the cost price. You can be able to record any kind of business here, just have a price tag, and these images are for you to remember the product. And also, as we were saying, when you want to publish your shop to the public so that the public can see what you're selling and all that stuff. So in this video, we are going to be looking on how to record sales, okay, which is one of the most important aspects of this application of Sales Ledger. So we have our products. Of course, as you can see, our product, like I said, you can search your products, all stock, flash sales. We don't have any flash sales. We're going to look at that in another video. We have items in stock, those items which are actually, as you can see, here is the stock. You can always edit it. The stock is how many of the items you have, okay? Yeah, so it helps you to track, because as you record sales, this number reduces until it can reach 0, which means the item is out of stock, okay? Yeah, and that also updates on your public shop automatically, yeah, as you record new sales. So like I said, you can actually use filters. Low stock is going to show you items with low stock, from 10 and below. These are low stock items. We have out of stock items. We don't have any item which is out of stock. If the stock is 0, it's out of stock. In stock are just normal items which are in stock. And then lastly, we have yes, okay, so we have A to Z, so you can arrange your items from A to Z. As you can see now, they follow alphabetical order, and then we have Z to A, okay. So here we have the categories which I showed you. You can go to settings and set that up. As you can see, here are product categories, so I'm just going to go back, or you can go back to products, or you just click back on your phone. So in that case, we are back to product. So we have everything set. Of course, you can edit. Like I said, here is the name of the product. It has to follow this. You can use some kind of characters, only the characters accepted here, and you have a maximum of 35 characters, which is enough for most products name. And here you have the description, which I said should not be too long, but you can enter description of up to 200 characters, and you can pull this so you can be able to update. So yeah, you can delete an image, you can change it, you can swap. Once you click any of these, you can delete it. Like I said, if you delete the first image, the second image becomes the first image, okay. So you can't have the first image empty and the second image. This helps so that we always have something to display on your shop in case you place your shop public, okay. So here, like I said, this is the buying price. As you can see, only you can see this price. We use it to actually calculate the profit. If you don't enter a buying price, we assume the buying price is the selling price. So in that case, you make zero profit, okay? But you can always change the buying price to see your actual profit. You understand? So anytime you change the buying price, we are going to be able to track the profit, okay? So it's always good to enter your buying price from the start, okay? Because sales are recorded along with the buying price. So if let's say if you have a sale with this without a buying price, then we are going to use the buying price anytime you add it. But if you have a buying price and you record a sale, if you change that buying price later on, it's not going to change the profit you made on that sale, because the sale is going to be recorded with that buying price. Yeah, this may be difficult to understand, but don't worry about it. It's a little bit technical, but just understand, when you change the buying price, it does not change the sales which you recorded in the past. They have their buying price, except you had not set a buying price. Then the buying price you set will be considered for sales which were not recorded with any buying price, which means the buying price was zero. So like I said, you can always edit this. You can edit anything here, okay? Yeah, so you can set flash price, which we're going to be looking at later on. And these are the categories which we actually looked at, like I said. So cancel. So that's it. So now the next thing we want to do is actually to add sales, okay? So adding sales is just like this is like the main purpose of the application, where you record sales based on your inventory. So I'm going to go on and add two sales so that you can see the different options we have for adding sales. Then we're going to go on a break and come back, where during that period I'm going to add about 10 sales, where I'm going to pause the video while adding those other sales. So for now, let's see how you can record new sales. So I said you're going to have different views. For example, if you're adding contacts, when you go to add contact, you can add, if you're using the mobile app, you're going to see add contacts. You can add contacts from your contact list on your phone. And remember, Sales Ledger can be used anywhere, and you have access to the same data, okay? You can use it on your Android, iPhone, on desktop, on the browser, anywhere which, any digital device which has a browser, you can be able to use Sales Ledger, and you have access to the same product. So if you record your product on your iPhone, you can see it on the web. You just need to refresh, and you'll be able to see the updated list, okay? So so let's go to record new sales. You can use any of these. You can use any of this. We're going to fix this, of course. If you don't record a sale, you don't have to see this, okay? But we're going to arrange that. So so first, when you select customers, like you said, we added a single customer. We added one customer. Yeah, so we are going to select that customer first, just to see the first smooth addition of sale. Now, when you must always add a customer, if you don't add a customer, you're going to get an error, which I'm going to show you at the end of the form. So you're always aware of that. So we added a customer, or remember, this customer is from our customers list, okay? Yeah, and then we want to add an item. So it's going to get items from our items list. So of course, you can search an item. Yeah, okay. Of course, Brazilian, for example, you can search an item. This helps if you have many items and you can't always scroll down the list, okay? Yeah, and you can always add a product on the fly. We're going to look at that later. Yeah, so but for now, let me just select an item. Okay, so this is the unit. So of course, this price is actually the selling price, the price at which you sell the items from your products, which you set up. But you can actually change the units, you understand, but you cannot change the current price. You need to change it from products. Yeah, so this is the first item. You can always add multiple items. So this person bought, don't worry about the error, just in the case these fields are empty. So let's sell another here. So what just shows is a sale can have multiple items, any number, okay? So we can have multiple items, but for this sale, we're going to have 3 items. You understand? We're going to have 3 items, okay? And this 4, okay? So that's it. We have 4 items here added to the sale. Now this is very important. You can add more items, but for there we are going to choose what kind of payment was used. We have others, but the main ones are cash, card payment, and bank transfer. Usually in most countries, it's usually bank transfer for remote businesses. Or yeah, so then completed. Yeah, this is very important. If you want to record a sale, if someone has not paid complete amount, they just want to record the pending. Let's say, for example, you want to say this sale is pending, which means the user has not completed payment, okay? You can actually do that. This will be auto-generated, and then you can always edit the let's say this user is buying at a little bit of a discount, you know, you can say, let's say we want to sell it today, we give them a discount of a certain amount, we can edit this total like this. So you see the original amount is 125, we can change it to 128, we can change it to 125. It shows the percentage discount. This is going to be shown on their receipt so that they know. You can always reset to original, you understand. But as you can see here, we have so we're going to check 5, and then we are going to confirm new total. So as you can see, we have given them a discount of 3,000. Yeah, this is going to be recorded in the sale. So once we have everything correct, of course, we can go on and complete that sale. Perfect. So as you can see, our sale our sale tab has started being populated. So as you can see here, we have a filter. By default, we show the filter for the last 2 months. You can always come here and set the time for which you want to see a sale. Okay, here you can clear the filter, which actually just goes back to the default, which is the last 2 months, you know. So you see here we are showing from March 1st to, okay, so here you can also filter by name. That's your filtering by the name. Yeah, I mean alphabetic. You can also by ascending and descending order. Sorry, yeah, you can filter by customer, you know, sort by items, you know. We don't have any items, so you cannot see that nothing actually happens now. Yeah, so any of these sorts which you're sorting, you have ascending and descending. So if you have dates, you can say from older items to newer items. If you change it here, it's going to be ascending from this one is from older items to new items. Yes, then yes, this from new items, older items. So you can do that for items, amount, and everything. So when you say amount, it actually sorts based on amount, you understand. So it's sort by, you want to order the list. Of course, you can understand what that means, but if you don't understand it, you don't need to use it. The default is always the date, so you're always going to see the last sale at the top. Okay, yeah. So now, so these are the action buttons for each sale. Now we have several actions which you can do. First, you can see the sale. You know, if you just want to see the sale, like maybe somebody is selling for you and you want to refer how many of something was bought. As you can see, the quantity is 4. So totally from our inventory, a total of for this item, 3 stocks have been subtracted from our stock count. You're going to see that for this 2 have been subtracted, and for this 4 have been subtracted. So this all we can see. So already you can see the profit you have made from this sale. So as you can see, from this sale we had a discount of 3,000. Then we had the original subtotal 128. You know, so this is our profit. You understand? And this is the total. So if you subtract the discount from the total, you're going to come out. You're going to have 125,000. Yeah. So this profit also considers the discount. Okay, which you actually apply to the sale. So from there you can close this, print this, or download the receipt. But let's just go on with, let's just look at other aspects. So you can also edit the sale. Yes, this is very important. If you want to edit the sale, maybe a user added 1 item, so we can add let's say 4 here. Okay, so you're going to see this discount still applies. Okay, 2.3. okay, so the user added 4, so the total is going to actually increase. Let's see. All right, so looking at the total, I realize the total actually does not change, of course, but we are going to fix this probably before you watch this video. Okay, so that's why it's always good to test the app. So we are going to leave this as it is for now, since the total doesn't change. But of course, normally when you edit, we are supposed, let's just try to refresh here just to be sure what's actually happening. All right, so the total changed, but I don't know what was happening initially. Yeah, but we're going to look at that. So of course, as you can see, like I said, we should add 4 items here. So as you can see, the total has changed, of course, and the profit, the discount has adjusted. Okay, so as you can see, the discount is as you can see, we have given them a discount of 27.3. okay, so that's discounts about 47. So the discount actually takes the same percentage. So what we have to do is, if we want to give them a discount based on the new item, we have to come here and edit it to, let's say maybe we want to give a discount of 4,000 this time, so we are going to say 168. Yeah, so that's the correct distance. So a discount of about 168, sorry, 168. Okay, so that's still about 2.3. So let's confirm this new total. So we're going to fix the problem which you saw where sometimes it doesn't update. Okay, so update sale. Okay, so our sale has been updated, our profit and every other aspect. So if you come back to the sale, you're going to see the bot 4 of this item. Okay, you're going to see your profit 55 and all that stuff. So for this sale, we can already see, if we go back to products, you're going to already start seeing profits which you have made for some of the products. So as you can see, these products have 0 profit, we haven't sold them. So as you can see, this is one of the products we sold. So as you can see, we have a profit of 49,000. And then we can look for another product. We sold these 2, so we have a profit of 6,000. Okay, as you can see, we sold 4 sales, and here we can see we sold 7 sales. Okay, so that's how. So as you can see, this item has been purchased all, so it's already out of stock. If you go here to out of stock, you're going to see this item is out of stock. So you can just go simply here and edit the stock. Once you purchase more of the product, you can go here and update the number of stocks. Okay, so it's just to be sure you have. So you see no items out of stock, so we can go back to all stock. Okay, so here we have 10 units left, 30 units, 3 units left, 6, 12, and all that stuff. So you can already see we have profits on some products. So you can see, I don't know if this customer, okay, so as you can see, this customer has done 1 order, and this was the only customer we had, so that was the customer who did that purchase. So as you can see, this customer already has 1 order. So in the dashboard, we can already begin to see some things. Okay, we can see we have had 164,000. We have had a net profit of 55,000 from the that's a net profit of 55,000. And then as you can see, we have sold 9 items, so 9 items, because the units are counting. Okay, we had 4 and I think 1, something like that. So we have items, so we have 9, and then inventory items, of course, 9. The number of items. Then of course we start seeing things here. The recent sales, as you can see, we sold 164 recent sales. So, and it's pending. Okay, it's pending, so we can just go and set it to completed when we want. Okay, so here we can see our top customers. As you can see, our top products, sorry, as you can see, this 22 share moisture 4,500, and Brazilian I think 28. So I'm going to try to see why this has 0 sale, but it has this amount of this price. We're going to check out why. All right, 0 sales naira this, and 0 sales naira this. So we're going to check out why this actually has different prices, because I don't think it's supposed to be like this. All right, so after verification, this just shows the price of the item, not how much you made. So it just shows you your top product based on sales. Okay, so as you can see, we have sold 1. So all of them actually have the number of sales which they are in. So this was in 1 sale, this was in 1 sale, and this has been 0 sale. So this just shows the price of the item. Okay, not the amount you've made. So here we are going to see other things about inventory health. So as you can see, we have out of stock, low stock, and optimal. So we don't have any excess stock. So you see we have an item with 4 items, 5, and 0. So in this case, you can see product metrics. It shows us our products based on how much we have sold. So you see here we have sold 7 items, and here we have sold 4 and all that stuff. So we have customer frequency. Every customer frequency, you can read it here. I don't want to take a lot of time from the video, but it just shows how if let's say returning customers, how frequent customers return to buy. So if your customers are anonymous, you may just have one-time customers, but if your customers are recurring, you can be able to track that. You can know customers who have bought, regular customers, and all that stuff. Yeah, so cash flow just is like an estimate. It estimates how from your previous profits and everything. It's able to estimate how the future might look like. Okay, then here we have item performance. So it shows you the performance of your different items, so we can look at that. Then we are going to look at this separately in a different video. Then here we have your profit margin, which you can actually change. So we have just made this amount in. You can check the profit you've made in the past 12 days. You have to just slide this window. It shows you the number of days. So that's it for this particular tab. So that's it for the dashboard. And here we can see if you go to analytics, you see other matrices. You're going to see stuff like this, total sales, this how much you've made, net profit 55. You're going to see net profit margin, compared to the previous time. You're going to see items sold, customers one, average order value, and all this stuff. So since we have only one item, we cannot see much. So of course, these are your top products. So of course, you can see the top products was this. We have already sold 7, and this is the second. We have already sold 4. This is how much we made. Yes, this is how much we made, like the profit we made from this product, and this is the profit we actually made from this product. Okay, so you can see we made quite a good amount of profit. I'm going to check that. Let me verify that. So after verification, I can confirm this is actually how much was sold, not the profit you made. We have the profit down here, but as you can see, this is how much was sold. So how much you received, completely for this product. So you can use this to track how much maybe your store is, how much to be expected, how much you are expecting on a particular day. So for example, if someone is selling for you, you can be able to know, how much you're expecting. So it indicates they actually sold this amount for this product and this amount for this product. So you should be expecting, if this all you sold on a particular day, you should be expecting the sum of these two. Then for this, of course, you should be this is your top customer. Of course, since we have only one customer, this is just the top customer. Then this is your top profit. So this is the highest. So we see we made the highest profit from this. We have sold 7 units and this. Okay, so then you can see we also so for this the profit we have made. So from the 4 we sold up here, we have a revenue of 18, but we made a profit of 6. And then so you can use all this to track, which item is doing better. Here is a better graph which actually tracks revenue against profit. So revenue is how much you sold, and profit was what's your profit within what you sold. Okay, so you can track that here. So then next we can see sales by day of week. So you see this Friday today. So you see like we have just sold. So that's our highest sale date. So the whole of this video and the next, I guess we are just going to be working on Friday. So you can see the current day, which is still Friday. So like I said in the last video, it shows you how much are your highest selling dates. So this actually sums all the dates for every week, and it tells you the days which you sell the highest. So some business may sell well on a Monday, some business may realize they have high sales on a Tuesday, some on a Saturday. So it can just help you to know the days where you should not miss work or you should open your store, because that's the highest day where you have customers. So it's very important for that. And as you can see, payment method, of course, we have had only one payment method, bank transfer, but as we're going to see later, you can have much more. So I'm just going to go on and add other sales, about 4 other sales. Then we are going to come back to this. All right, but I would like to show you how you can add customers on the fly. So you can always add customers on the fly like this. So once you go to add record new sale, from there you can click add customers and you can add customers. So let me just add a new customer. So like I said, you can't have space like this between any of them. It's going to be wrong. So you have to remove the space and wipe it out. And like I said, these 2 are optional. Okay, this is only the necessary field which you have to fill. This is only the required field. This is the only required field, sorry. Okay, so from here you can add customer, and the customer is automatically selected for the new sale. Okay, here you can also add product if you want. Okay, but we are running out of time, so I'm not going to add product, maybe in the next video. So I'm going to go on and add the other products, the other sales. So for this sale, I actually selected cash and I allowed the payment status. To be complete. Okay, so I'm done with these sales. I actually have 3 items, so I'm going to go on and add, let me leave this without any discount. So I'm going to go on and add more sales. All right, as you can see now, I've added a couple sales. I've added 4 sales. So as you can see, they are actually arranged by date, but we can arrange them by customer. It's going to filter by customer. As you can see, A is first and C Second, you can filter by items. As you can see, the number of items, you can change the order, you understand. So the larger items come, the bigger number of items come first, or you can use this other order. You can see by amount, so it starts with the smallest amount, but you can do the opposite and see with the largest amount. And then you can filter by profit, so it starts with the smallest profit, but you can change to see the sales according to the largest profit first. Very important sort. All right, so to continue, as you can see, you can adjust the sales, okay, by status. So status is whether it's complete or pending. Like you said, we have one pending sale. Pending sales are just for people who have not completed their payment. So you can always go there. If they have completed the payment, you can always go there and change the pending to completed. Okay, so but for now it's pending, so we can't. So I'm going to cancel this, so it remains pending. So we're going to work on some of this UX, user experience, which you see. If you're very vigilant, you're going to see a few stuff which we're going to arrange. So looking at that, so we are good to go. Now let's just move to let's just go quickly through. In the next video we are going to talk more about this, but for now, as you can see, when you go to products, you're going to see it has been drastically updated. You know, some items have their profit. You know, we have sold these items 5. You know, we have not sold this item yet. We have sold this one. We have sold this. As you can see, all their profits, you can see the profit we are making from each of these items. So like I said, sales ledger, the main purpose of sales ledger is to track, is to know exactly how much you're making from how your business is growing, or how much you're making from a particular business. If items are profitable or not, you know, it helps you track your complete sales. And now you cannot do all these things in your mind. You understand, when you run a business blindly, sometimes you will not be able to know what is doing well and what is not. It's always good to be updated in the market, so you can optimize yourself to only sell products which actually are making good profit or are marketable. So as you can see here, we have 6,000, 8 and all this stuff, 2 items. So you can see we have almost sold all items. So in the next video we are going to sell some of the items we have not sold, or we are just going to leave it like that. Okay, so for customers, of course, you can see our customer statistics. All these customers have been in 2 sales. You know, this one I've spent 140,000 and this one I've spent 274,000. Based on the currency you selected, it's going to show here. So of course you can select and search customer by name, okay, like this, or if you want. Okay, so going to the dashboard, you're going to see the dashboard has changed a lot. Now we have a total sales. This is our revenue. Inside that, this is our net profit. You know, when you subtract from the selling price, you know, you subtract this, our total profit we have made. You understand, selling price minus buying price. Then here we have total expenses. We are going to look at what expenses means. It's actually separate expenses from sales. Then here items sold 26, you know, and inventory items we have just 9. So here we are going to see our recent sales. This is the most recent sale. This, after that we had this. Then we are going to see our top product. So every item has just been in one sale. Okay, top product actually has to do with sales. You understand? So you see, these are the top products, you know, for sales and all this. So this is actually something we are going to look at more in future videos. And as you can see here, we have inventory health, you know. Here we have product. You can track your. We are going to talk about this in other videos, and you can see cash flow. You need to add more days of sales before you can see this. So we have item performance. We are going to see all this profit analysis. We are going to talk about all this later on. Okay, so you can also go to analytics, where you can see a group of other stuffs, you know, a lot of stuffs, you know, and that's it. So this video is actually getting too long, so we're going to continue from the next video, and I'm going to show you how you can understand the metrics of your business and every other aspect of the business. So yeah, we are going to look at all this, and I'm going to explain to you what all this means, you know, based on our sale, you know, and this is our cash flow. As you can see, we have taken this of cash, bank transfer, and this. So in the next video, we are going to look at more details on how to track our sales and, you know, understand some of these statistics and all that. Okay, thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.